G'day guys, welcome back to the shop. Another couple of weeks done, getting to the end of the year here. It's getting hot here in Perth, it's pretty warm today. So yeah, let's get on to it. So the first one is this interesting little thing. It's macadamia. Just like one of the bowls that I've done earlier in this series, natural edge, and I think I spoke about natural edge bowls in the last video about how I'm sort of drawn to them, or I've been doing quite a few. I really like the aesthetics of them, so it will be a staple throughout my turning life. I think it gives a natural look to something with having, I think, a bit more of a elegant base to it, sort of brings the two elements together. This is useless, it is silly, and I love it. I've made a few of these in the past, a bowl with no base. This is probably the worst one I've made. I brought in an example of one which I think this is macadamia as well. It's one of the first ones I turned. It's better balanced than the one that I did in this video, where it does actually sit upright. You can put coins or whatever you want in there, and it wobbles about, but it stays upright. Where this one doesn't. It's only got sort of one wing on it. I guess I didn't choose the orientation of the wood too well compared to this old one, so it just falls on its side. But I don't care. They're not all supposed to be useful, I suppose. You could just have something silly like this that flops around on the bench, and I don't know. If you're one of those office golf pros, you can put it on the floor and putt your golf ball into it if you want. It's silly, and I've been serious making all this stuff throughout this program, this challenge, and it's not who I am all the time. I love my art, I love making and creating, but it's not all about perfection and usability and being, following the norm. So this thing it's stupid. It's going to sit on the top of the fridge with the rest of them, and I honestly hope someone buys it. I don't know who will, but if it does, if no one buys it, it can live with this one as a cute little pair, and I think I've got a little bit more. I might make another one and just have a little family of these stupid bowls popping up in the house. In terms of execution, I was sort of flying by the seat of my pants as usual with the shape of this, but I think it came out quite well. It actually looks a bit like a helmet if you turn it on its side. Wall thickness is pretty good. I like keeping the base of these a little bit thicker just to have a bit, if it worked properly, have a bit of grounding, a bit of that weight at the bottom to keep it there. Yeah, in terms of my turning performance on the lathe, knocking it out, I think I did pretty well. Like this far in, what are we? 16, 17, 18 along the way. If I wasn't continually getting things right in that realm, something's not quite right. So I've really improved on my consistency, and I have said that a few times on this little adventure. It's not perfect, and these natural edge bowls are, especially having such different thicknesses throughout, heights in terms of this edge, you do get a better viewpoint of how your wall thickness starts, middle, end. It does change a bit due to sanding, but feeling it feels good. I know I had to sand a bit extra out of here, so it is quite thin on this side compared to the same spot on that side. But this point to this point to this point are all fairly even for not really doing anything in terms of my checking with calipers, or is sort of more of a feel thing. So that's all coming good. Silly bowl, fun little project. I will make more of these, whether it's on this this challenge or not. I've done one, you've seen it. Let me know what you think, if you love it or you hate it. But I don't really care because it's supposed to be a bit of a joke. A nice joke, but a joke nonetheless. So, little macadamia, not a bowl. Yeah. We'll leave that one there for the moment, and we'll continue on. So, this simple little love, it's rose gum. Backstory for the timber, again, pinched it off of my dad. They've got a decent sized property up in the hills here in Perth, and they had this big rose gum out the back. It was, 20, 30 metres tall, right at the back of that block. Lovely old tree, until one day Dad was working out the back, and as he was walking to the house, it just let go of a massive limb. And my brother's got a kid, I've now got a kid, and with the idea of kids running around the block at Mum and Pa's house and having a limb fall off and squish a little kid is not ideal. So the whole thing came down. Dad kept quite a bit of it as firewood. So it's been split up into big chunks sitting in his woodshed. And who doesn't love a free bit of wood? So I went through and pinched a couple of bits and got this little fella out of it. I could have made a bigger diameter, and you would have seen in the video of me making this that I was a bit selective. It had quite a large sapwood section on the side, and I've done a whole heap of stuff in the past, and I've always included it for efficiency, basically. And I thought that it would be nice to have a clean, single colour without that sapwood stripe. Sometimes it can be really pretty and really striking. Other times I think it doesn't add anything, doesn't take anything away, and sometimes I think it diminishes it. If it was half and half, really interesting design point, but just having a little bit on the side, I think in a visual sense it looks better being uniform. It's also quarter sawn, seeing as Dad split it, so took the best, it's the easiest way for the grain to split, so it's quarter sawn, and so you don't get that, I guess, cathedral grain or the flat sawn grain, like, a lot of the standard stuff you see. So it's really interesting. It's very linear and quite stripy, seeing the difference between, I'm guessing, the summer and winter seasons, or however it had grown, but I'm guessing that's its growth rings, even though they do seem quite far apart for a eucalypt, at least at the size that it is. Anyway, so just my standard finish on this one. It's a lot of people asking whether you're going to hear it in this or not. I don't know. It's Osmo oil. It's the countertop oil. It's food safe. I use it on all the wooden spoons and spatulas and stuff that I make, so just easy enough to go through everything. It's a great polish for everything I've done so far with it. but then I buffed it. I sometimes, because I got the matte finish. Sometimes I feel that it's a little bit too dull. I don't love gloss. It has its applications and its purposes, but I thought that this just needed a little bit of a little touch up. So I finished it, and then once it was dry, I gave it a quick buff out, and it's given it quite a lovely little sheen to it. It's yeah, I think this one came up quite well. It's simple, elegant. I reduced the foot size on it. I know that in one of the past videos I'd spoken about how I left the foot on this sort of at the same diameter as the tenon on it. So I've shrunk that down when I was taking the tenon off. I think it works quite well with this. It's a small bowl, it's got a nice small little dainty foot. It picks it up enough off the table that you get a good shadow line underneath. Wall thickness, like I was saying in that last one, it's the consistency that I want is the consistency I want to keep. Quite happy with this one. The big overall difference that this one has compared to some of the other things that I've done, and it's a really small detail, and I think it makes a huge difference, and that is that I've slightly undercut this edge. You can see in the photos, or the video of when it's spinning around on the turntable, that you get quite a lovely, you might even see it on there, quite a lovely shadow line that just really makes that rim pronounced. It stands out, and all it is that instead of coming up and sweeping straight out to the edge so it follows straight out, all I've done is just slightly undercut it so it's got a bit of a ramp almost, curve, I guess, like that. Maybe the wall comes up into the edge, and that minute little detail has made a world of difference. So that's something that I'm going to continue to try and put in my bowls. I could have executed it a bit better. I feel like I could do better than what I've done here, a bit more even, a bit nicer. So I'll work on that with another bowl. I don't think it will work. It won't work with the natural edge stuff. I don't think. Well, it won't, because the rim isn't even. So, but with these, I think it works really well. Again, quite happy with this. I'm not overwhelmed and excited by what I've produced this week, though I've had to, I've got sort of more priorities in the household at the moment with the little kid, and so a couple of quick little ones, keep your eye in, has worked really well, and it's sort of a bit of a bread and butter product, isn't it? Like, if you can knock, quite a few of these out in a day, 10, 12, whatever, I don't know, if you get really quick at it, it's a good little money maker. So, it's a balance between your design work, your artistic side, and something that will hopefully bring in a little bit of income. Yeah, happy with that one. So that's it for this week, this fortnight. I don't know what else to say. It's coming up to Christmas. I don't think I'll see you before Christmas in one of these. So Merry Christmas if that's your jam. I hope you have safe holidays. All the people in the Northern Hemisphere. I hope you don't get too cold. It's starting to warm up here in Perth. I think it was 31 today, and I haven't looked at the forecast, but I think it's just going to rise from that, and we might have a hot, sweaty Christmas as we usually do. So while you guys are freezing in the States or Europe or wherever you are, just remember us down here in Australia, going to the beach, and feel sorry for us that we don't have the white Christmas that you guys do. Um, that's it. I'm getting closer on my website stuff if that's something that you're interested in. My Instagram's still going well. I'm trying to keep up to date with things on that. I love hearing from you. Subscribe, like videos, tell your mates. You know, the more you interact, the more I'm visible, the more I'm going to film. I'm trying to, you know, I've enjoyed doing these, so I'll try and get a few other little bits and pieces going, and we'll see where it takes all of us. I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're watching. So thanks for this. Thanks for watching for this one. Thanks for sticking with me. Those guys been with me from the start. I really appreciate it. I've got a few plans for the new year. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway for the halfway mark, so keep your eyes out for that one. I still need to figure out how I'm going to work it, but you know, if you're lucky, you might come away with something that I made if you want. So thank you very much. Happy holidays. I'll see you in a couple of weeks, and in the meantime, look after yourself, stay safe, press subscribe, like, you know, YouTube. Woo! All right, see ya.